Suddenly, everything goes dark. Your eyelids snap shut. It feels like lightning is coursing through your veins, like some psychedelic disco nightmare. Massive blinding flashes of color overcome your senses as your entire body jolts. You open your eyes to the weirdest scene. It looks as though you're standing at a suburban bus stop on what looks to be something your grandparents used to talk about. You're on the surface. The sky is blue. That you've never seen before. Slightly dazed and very much confused, you slowly get the feeling that you didn't jump into a battle zone, but rather a time before the war. So there you have the plot or the background to my game idea. If it sounds familiar, it's because I've drawn on ideas from various movies and television shows, with my love for multiple types of games. When I was little, I liked reading those choose-your-own-adventure books, where at the end of the chapter you were given a choice as to how you progress through your adventure. Chance, I suppose, would be an RPG of sorts, the game view being largely first-person. Often through the game this view would switch, including third-person and real-time strategy type screens, depending on the scenario you find yourself in. Your character, as the plot advises, you're a part of a squad. However, it doesn't tell you which one you are. You will determine this upon logging into the game. The very first time you start the game, you'll be directed to a login screen. Once verified, you will then be able to create your character, choosing everything from gender, body type, skin tone, hair type, and color, scars, tattoos, you name it, right through to the type of soldier you wish to be trained as. Everything but what the clothes you're wearing are customizable at the start. This is because one of the quirks of your EOS device is that it camouflages your exterior to blend you into the surroundings that you are in. Now, further on the game itself, your teleportation device is actually an armband mini supercomputer of sorts. Not only does it allow you to travel great distances, but during the attack something went wrong, and now you're teleporting throughout time, space, and dimensions. Once you play through the first tutorial level, you will then get a choice to activate your device again if you're comfortable with it, and whilst in transition you'll be given the options of 1, 2, or 3, or something similar, giving you, the player, 3 possible directions in which your game journey will go, and so on and so on. Gameplay will basically be you completing one or multiple tasks that is in line with whoever you're taking the place of. Lost? Confused? Don't worry, I'll explain. For those of you who have not seen the show Quantum Leap, your EOS device essentially teleports you into the place of another person, whilst they get bounced into limbo until you complete the task at hand. So, one might find themselves in the dinosaur age, and then automatically next time they might find themselves standing in the war room of the White House, or commanding Napoleon's army at Waterloo, or storming the beaches of Gallipoli. The scenarios are virtually endless. You're probably thinking by now, how does one finish this game? Well, it's not really a game where you finish, so to speak. With the continuing scenarios, you can keep on playing as long as you are interested in, or the game developer runs out. Quick spoiler alert, the game developer's not going to run out. There will be options for you to finish your character at a certain point, if a multitude of factors are present for your character to do so. However, since your character is continually bouncing through time and space and sometimes dimensions, you must remember that you may succeed yourself into non-existence. Remember, you came from a war-torn future, so if you change your future too much, like Back to the Future, you will no longer exist. Of course, there will be warnings in place if your timeline has been infected too much. It's up to you as a player to decide the outcome. So we've covered objective, check, kinda. What you'll be wearing, clothes, check, awesome. Weapons. Now, weapons are only dependent on whatever scenario you port into, because some scenarios you may not even need weapons, but the skills and traits that you chose at the beginning to help you through the next scenario. So weapons are totally dependent on what scenario you jump into. And being that it could be any scenario, a multitude of weapons are available for selection throughout the game, as well as equipment and so forth, depending on, again, the scenario that you're in. as I've mentioned with the dimensions, they're sort of a bonus round. And I mention this because this is also a game developer's dream. It's a Pandora's box, so to speak, as you can find yourself anywhere and doing anything. You could port into a world where Nazis won the war and now we're under German rule. You could port into a World of Warcraft scenario where you're battling 9-foot tall orcs. You can go from being a normal human being to being a vampire fighting the Lycans. There's that many possibilities, and it's just endless. And the creativity would allow game developers to do virtually almost anything. I'd also like to use the Frostbite 2 engine to run the game, as I found this one to be fluid, and preferably a server farm as large as Blizzard's. Yeah, good luck. And the only reason I say this is because logging into the game would be allowed to be updated continually, and also maintained and expanded as needed, and also a security feature, which is also a good thing to have in most games these days. Chance also has a co-op option. At various times during your gameplay, you will come across paths with another player. Now, you don't have to help this player, but you can. It's all up to you. You can either choose to help them, hinder them, or just totally ignore them. If you help them, obviously there's rewards. If you hinder them, there could be sneaky rewards. If you ignore it, you just continue playing on the game that you are playing. It's, again, up to the player as to how they progress through their game. This is my game idea for TopGeek 2.0. Game name is Chance. Hope you guys have been entertained and still awake. Have a good day, night, afternoon, morning. And if you're still watching by now thinking, this is totally out of sync, it's not really. I'm Anton Paratene, and I hope you consider Chance to be the next great game. Have a good one.